NASA is responsible for some of the greatest scientific achievements in human history, offering advancements in physics, chemistry, and engineering that are used in our daily lives. Many young minds dream of working with the space exploration program, and 3 classes at Forest Lake Elementary got that chance, as they were selected to take part in the NASA Explorers project. The students conducted gravity experiments in the classroom to compare to the reduced gravity experiments that their teachers would take part in during a NASA zero-G flight.
We did the experiments here at the school with our 1st grade and 5th grade classrooms, and then we performed it, took the data and everything, and then when we went up into Houston in the plane, we did some of the experiments in zero gravity and hypergravity.
We started with the reduced gravity project, introducing the kids to some of the NASA resources and working with 1st grade and 5th grade students, working on research, getting the students into researching and how to research correctly, and then brought in NASA resources, NASA Now videos, and then brought in the experiments that the NASA sent the 3 teachers to do with their classrooms.
After the students conducted their experiments, they discussed their findings with their teachers, followed by a video conference with NASA engineers to better understand the results and come up with hypotheses regarding how the experiments will differ in reduced and hypergravity.
And we would do the 3 experiments here in regular gravity and then talk to the kids about what's going to happen in microgravity and hypergravity, and communicate back and forth with NASA about what happened here and what the kids predicted.
We did the digital learning teleconferencing with the astronauts, and after each experiment they would present their data, and then they would talk about the problems that they had here in the classroom, and then also predict what problems we might have in zero gravity.
The experiments helped the students bridge the gap between math and science as they realized the relationship between the two.
That was really good with a lot of the students because they don't really see how science and math relate. So it was good on that aspect, like, science and math are so, you can tie them together so easily. And so working on graphs, graphing, your X and Y axis, what goes where, how to label your graphs, bringing in variables, what is a controlled variable or manipulated variable, and why do we need controlled variables in experiments.
The students have been exposed to classroom activities and classroom projects, but this was more of a, wait a minute, this is more than just something I'm reading in a book. I'm actually working together, and they could see the progress and they could see how is this going to help out.
After performing the experiments with their students, the teachers packed their bags and headed to Houston to perform the same experiments in a reduced gravity flight. To create the environment of hypergravity and reduced gravity, the teachers boarded a NASA airplane. During the flight, the plane flew in parabolic arcs, first climbing up to achieve hypergravity, nearly doubling their weight, followed by a powered dive, leaving them virtually weightless.
The first parabola, you're laying there and it feels like someone's sitting on top of you. But because everything is closed, there aren't any windows to look out, you don't know when the change is going to happen. So you're laying flat with an weighted on you, and then the next thing you know, you've flipped up to the top of the ceiling. You're floating up, and it just happens so quickly.
From NASA-sponsored experiments and video conferences with astronauts to zero-gravity flights, the students and teachers at Forest Lake Elementary experienced a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and helped launch the young students' scientific minds into a new era.